Right. Welcome everyone to this hearing of the Licensing Act 2003 Subcommittee to hear a temporary event licence notice. The recording of the meeting will be available on the Council's YouTube. In accordance with Members' Code of Conduct, we three councillors on the committee today are required to declare any relevant interests on any matter, pecuniary or non-pecuniary. I have no interest to declare. Councillor Makwana? I don't have nothing to declare.
Nothing just to declare, Chair.
Thank you. And to introduce ourselves, I'm Councillor Jane Lofthouse, representing Plaistow South, and I shall be chairing this meeting in the absence of Councillor Tony Wilson.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Pushpa Makwana, representing Plashard Ward.
Councillor Winston Vaughan, representing Forestgate South Ward.
Thank you. Case officer, please.
Case officer, London Borough of Newham, Colin Hunt.
So Metropolitan Police licensing.
Thank you very much. And the applicant is not present at the moment.
Just to clarify, Chair, I've emailed him a couple of times asking him to respond. CC'd Connell Stowe in with this. Connell Stowe replied saying he will respond. I've not had any response from the applicant.
Thank you. Our decision will be based on written and oral submissions. The clerk will take minutes of the meeting. So may I introduce the clerk?
Yes, Mary Hussain, Democratic Services.
Thank you. And
This is Jean Alsato, Democratic Services.
thank you very much. All right, so the procedure will be that the case officer will first of all introduce the case. Then members can ask questions of him. Then the licensing officer, the police will speak and questions may be asked. Then members will retire to make a resolution. And once a decision has been reached, the meeting will reconvene. Decisions of the subcommittee will be announced in public. Full written copies of the decision will be sent to the applicant, responsible authorities and interested parties within 5 working days. The applicant, responsible authorities and interested parties present at the hearing may appeal against the decision to the Magistrates' Court within 21 days. Thank you. So over to you.
Thank you, Chair. I mean, you've all read the agenda, so I'm not going to sort of, the applicant's not here, so I'm just going to skim over it if that's okay with
That's
just
absolutely fine.
on the 10th of May, the council licensing team received an application and temporary event notice for 147 Barking Road, King's Restaurant. It was for the dates on times 3rd to the 5th of June from 11:30 AM to 0400 the following day. Licensable activities, sale of retail alcohol on sales and regulated entertainment, late night refreshments. There will be a maximum of 100 people attending. And the type of event, unfortunately, he hasn't told us the type of event. He's just put supply of food and beer in the premises and playing of recorded music. In accordance with the regulations, the TENS was signed and dated by the council on the 11th of May, 2023, and returned to the premises user. And the TENS is attached to Appendix A. On 15th of May, licensing team received an objection against the application by the Metropolitan Police on the grounds of crime disorder and prevention of public safety and public nuisance and protection of children. And the document are attached to Appendix B. The premises, you've read the premises history, I won't go through that. The current licence is attached to Appendix C and a map of the area is attached as Appendix D. Hearing the members of the are to hear the application and the evidence and for the grant and determine whether or not, in accordance with 105 of the Licence Act, to consider a counter notice if a counter notice should be the decision.
Thank you very much. We don't need questions on that. No, I don't have questions. No, nor have I. Thank you then. So over to the responsible authority, the police, Metropolitan Police, please, Colonel.
On behalf of the Commission, let's go to the we get an application for 10 Kings 147 Barking Road, E16 for HQ on the grounds of prevention of finding disorder, prevention of public nuisance, public safety and protecting children from harm. The application is to provide regulated entertainment and late night refreshment between 300 hours and only 30 hours the following day from Saturday the 3rd of June, Tuesday the 6th of June inclusive. Haven't mentioned the sale of alcohol because the applicants actually the box. The sale of alcohol by not tick box for the sale of alcohol by resale. Or the box marks supply of alcohol by a club, which it isn't a club, it's a premises. But later on in the application section, where it's requested to say whether the licensable activities would include supply of alcohol. Mr. Sendaghi has said that they will be on the premises, so that's just, I think, an error on his part. I think he does intend to have sales of alcohol, regulated entertainment and late night refreshment.
Yes.
The event is just described as including 100 people expected to attend. So it looks so it's not an event as such, it's just an extension of hours for that period on those days. The premises has current license number 13/21522/LAPRE that has conditions attached, including the ones in Annex 3 that are agreed as part of the magistrate court the January 25 operating strictly as the only as food by way of a sit-down table meal and the prohibition of on unaccompanied children being in the premises after 2200 hours. Mr. Sendaghi is an experienced licensee, having previously run a pub in Newham, this premises in 2015. And please at this point he's not being fit to voluntarily state that the premises will operate those conditions for the duration of 10, which is explained the 10 supersedes the license. So there's no obligation on the licensee to comply with the conditions on their normal license whilst operating under the 10. However, if he had done so, police would still object to his application and be considered the potential risks to primary schools and public users by way of inappropriate behaviour to occur is increased by the extended hours that he has applied for. The area is also heavily residential with flats above and above all the commercial premises. In addition, there is a concert in the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park on Saturday, 3rd of June, headlined by Burna Boy, an artist from Nigeria, who has a large, police intelligence shows that he has a large following amongst gang members. I'm pleased to concern some of the people attending that concert who may be intoxicated because they will be able to buy alcohol at the stadium during the concert, or under the influence, perhaps under the influence of drugs when they leave the QEOP, may be attracted to attend this premises because of the later hours to continue consuming alcohol, thereby increasing the potential for problems to occur. It's also possible that rival gangs may use the opportunity to provoke their opponents into a violent confrontation. There is intelligence that gangs may be attending the concert. No, that's not being confirmed, but therefore, please have considerable concern regarding the outcome of the other objectives. If you think it's granted, we would like the outcome of this application to be determined by the licensing committee.
Thank you very much. Just 2 points. There is no indication that any conditions as per the licence are intended to be extended to this 10.
No, usually the applicants do put, we will comply with all the conditions on their licence, or they'll ask for some of the conditions, like if it's later hours, they will ask for, if they've got door staff, for instance, who would normally finish at midnight, if they're going till 2, they will ask for that condition, the wording of that condition to be amended so that door staff will be on duty for the duration of the 10.
And no indication that they'll have door staff until 4 o'clock. Right, thank you very much. Also, just for a point of clarification, on the application, it does say event end date the 5th of the 6th on page 12 of the.
Yeah, that's a bit confusing. It starts on the fifth, but it actually finishes at.
On the morning of the 6th, on the Tuesday morning.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's a bit confusing.
Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah, but it's the date that it's the time on the date that it finishes.
right.
I think I've got it.
Yes, and that's understood. All right, thank you very much. Any questions?
Just a clarification for Colin, actually.
Oh.
The application is from the 3rd to the 5th.
Mhm.
Is that usual or is that something new?
What the length of the time?
3rd, 4th and 5th.
Yeah, no, that's not unusual. No. Under a temporary event notice, you can have it for 7 days.
All right.
Then you have a 24-hour break and then you can have another 7 days.
Okay.
There is a amount, overall amount you can have. Once they've hit that amount, then they can't have any more temporary event notices, whether that be temporary event notices or days, whichever comes first.
Okay.
This premises doesn't hit that, so they can have three on the trot if they want to.
Never came across this actually.
Sorry?
I never came across this, something like this.
No, it's it is common, not only just for the day. Some people just put an application in just for an event, which is what really a temporary event notice is used for.
Yes.
So, because they want to extend their hours or they want a new event for that day. They want to sell alcohol on that particular day. But there are quite a few occasions where they have a whole week.
Oh, right.
I mean, they don't necessarily come in front of you because the police tend to look at it and agree things like conditions on the license. Then we do a counter notice with conditions that they can use it as long as they adhere to them conditions, which are enforceable.
Okay, thanks for that. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
And I don't have
Coroner,
any
nothing
questions.
else. All right, well, in the absence of,
Could I just ask?
please, oh, sorry.
No, sorry.
Sorry, I wanted just me.
Could I, has the applicant contacted you at all?
I was going to say, the letter was sent out directly to the applicant on the 15th of May. I've had no contact with him, they haven't responded at all.
No contact at all.
That's all I wanted to
All
know.
right, thank you very much. So in the absence of the applicant, who now will be unable to present their case or ask any questions, I think we'll deliberate private, which will just be the three of us, members and the clerks. Thank you very much. Thank you and welcome back. We have reached our decision and the clerk will now read it out.
So having heard submission from the case officer and the police, and in the absence of the applicant, the licensing subcommittee have decided to issue a counter notice.
Right.
Is that okay?
Thank you very much. Yes. As noted earlier, full written copies of our decision will be sent to the applicant, responsible authorities within as soon as possible. The applicant responsible authorities may appeal against this decision to the Magistrates Court within 21 days. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
It's closed.
Meeting's closed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.